Hello, welcome. Let me quickly fix the audio here. there's the audio. Let me just quickly. Boop, boop. No, just need to. Hello, there's two of me. There we go. So, as the title says, just gonna be doing some races while chatting because, just like last time, I need something to do while chatting because I run out of topics fairly quickly and then I rant for an hour. But generally, yeah. This will be until I get to the point where I can do a just chatting stream and actually, you know, be anywhere with it. I think Mario Kart will be the default. And alright. So yeah, like I said, like this is just kind of what I'm gonna be doing in place of just chatting streams, until, you know, I get to the point I can do those without having to worry about awkward silence. And hopefully at that point as well, I will have like specified background music for streams and stuff like that. Because as of right now, the music at the start is I just put on one of my albums and then let that play through until like 5 minutes or so, because I don't have anything specified, and then I just use whatever music is in the game for the background music. When it comes to you know, non silence, I guess. I don't know. My brain like shut off halfway through that sentence. Excuse me, why didn't it drift there? Thank you. Oh, come on. That was really unfortunate timing. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. If not, hope you can start doing well. But yeah, got kind of tired of doing Grand Prix, so instead I am just racing online because that is a lot more unpredictable, but at the same time, a lot more predictable in the sense of like with CPUs, you really never know what is gonna happen because there's no strategy involved. Whereas online, generally, you can tell, okay, people are going to use items. They're not just going to use the items, they're going to use items for protection rather than just shooting shells. Like, there's a lot more strategy involved in that sort of sense. So in that case, it feels a lot more predictable. But at the same time, it's more difficult because you have actual people who are doing things, not just following the course. Although, with my last stream, if you were there to see it, those CPUs were seriously up there, and don't know how they managed to do that. I frankly don't remember them being that smart. I got a triple mushroom. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Skip. That's what I mean. It's more unpredictable because you have people who know skips. Man. I tried. What? Why, hello there. I got a star in third. Alright, let's see if I can do this one. Interesting. Ooh, almost fell off there. Man. This is not my race. Yeah, I'm stopping being careful because... Yeah. What? What? Man. What? I missed. Whew, that was not a good race for me. Ooh, tick-tock clock. So, tick-tock clock has a very special place in my heart when it comes to Mario Kart. My first Mario Kart was the DS. And obviously, well, tick-tock clock is a DS course. It was a course that I loved to just mess around with because of the 2 gears at the end. I absolutely loved the course. Alright. And the fact that you could launch yourself off the edge and still finish the course without being Lakitude. Because you could just fly right off the edge past the goal and it would count. But unfortunately that's not the case for this version because of the design changes. They added walls around specifically the finish line. But, you know, it's still... a really fun course nonetheless. And like I said, it's very special to me. Man. Right here. These. Alright. I will hydrate right after I'm done with this course. And welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. One more lap. Well, suggestion is get some rest. Make sure you're not completely overworked. Man, I was gonna pass you. Well, I just woke up a little bit ago. No, why was I drifting that way? Well, I will take my drink now. After that. Ah. But I've been doing alright. I kind of talked a bit last stream about some stuff. Just that things have been very emotionally charged for me recently. For various reasons, but not getting into too much detail. It's just a bit of a shitty situation. But that is not why I am here. But overall, things haven't been going bad. Like, really bad. Just kind of one of those things that, you know, kind of have to deal with. But just being able to kind of sit and stream has been nice. Even though I haven't really been able to figure out good things to stream, hence why this is like my 17th time I've played Mario Kart. This is kind of my default, for if I have nothing else to do, or that I can think of doing, I should say. It is, and it's never the same thing twice, hence why I choose it. Especially if you're playing online. But generally it's just like, yeah. Generally it's just a lot of like, there we go. A lot of the stuff I want to do, either require having someone else, join me, or I don't have it, or like it's one of those things that I don't feel like doing at that moment in time. Generally, one of the big ones being like single player, like storyline games I don't care for playing on stream, just because then I feel obligated to play through the whole story on stream rather than just like, you know, being able to play it completely on my own and have fun with it. I feel like I have to wait to play it until I stream. Um, so it's one of those things that it's like I don't necessarily want to play those. But it's just like I don't know. I would do just chatting streams, but I mean, obviously you can see it for yourself. Don't exactly have the line of chat to give me topics to just kind of talk about, you know? I do reaction stuff, but I don't really have that much to add to it, so I feel weird doing that. Plus, I watch a lot of reaction content on my own, so I would be rewatching the same videos, essentially, just my own reaction rather than someone else's. I don't know. So that's a bit weird. But that kind of comes from the fact that this isn't my full-time job. I am absolutely losing this course. This isn't my full-time job, so I can't dedicate all of my time to it. Essentially. Which, you know, that's fine. It's not going to be a full-time job for everyone. As much as I would want it to be. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I would do if I had the ability to. But as of right now, my default is Mario Kart, while just kind of talking with whoever comes by. Because, you know, I can sit here and vibe, talk about what's happening in game, when there's kind of a lull in conversation topics, which is a lot of the time. But yeah. Okay. But yeah, glad you're at least doing somewhat well. You're tired, but that's not a bad thing, inherently. Listen also from me. Yeah. And on my website that I've made, exclamation mark site. I can't do that right now because I'm in race. But one of the points that I made on there was why I wanted to stream. And so sample many people just relaxed. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do on stream. But when it comes to why I want to stream in the first place, that's on my website. But oh, okay, I am in last. Generally though, it's just kind of I like the idea of being able to be a relaxment point for other people. People can come, watch, and not have to worry about their problems for an hour and a half or so. But generally, it's just like as much as I would love that, I don't have the backing to really be able to pursue that too much. really unfortunately, because right now, especially, I'm kind of having to start doing a job search because I have student loans coming up, which, you know, is annoying, especially because that means I can't focus on this. The good news with it would be, though, that it would give me money to actually, you know, it would give me the money to actually pay for and invest in streaming. Because right now I have a lot of just ideas that I don't have the skill to pull off, and I don't have the money to pay for other people to pull off. So it's one of those things that, like, either invest when it comes to something like streaming, you either invest your time and skill or your time and money. And right now I have one of those. But you know, it's just kind of
I come to make an announcement.
Welcome, Angelin. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, just kind of, there's a lot of stuff that I wish I could do that I just don't have the ability to do. Is it Angelin or Angelin? Like, how would you like me to refer to you? Angelin? Angel? I don't know. But yes, welcome in, welcome in. Hope you enjoy your stay. Kick. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Can't say I've put a lot of work into my voice, but it hasn't been a focus of mine to try and work on it, but it's been passive. I'm doing fairly well myself. Just kind of vibing with some Mario Kart and chatting right now. Obviously. But yeah, just kind of talking about how I have a lot of things that I want from streaming. Compared to what I'm able to do. Doesn't need to... I mean, I have my gripes with my voice. I am completely aware of, not completely aware of how it sounds, because that makes it sound like that I, man. I've been told I have a very androgynous voice, which I don't mind. However, I'd like to pass the line of from androgynous. Just because... Thank you. Oh, heck, I haven't used one of these in ages. My voice is one of those things where, like, it may be smooth, but I can kind of, essentially, I can feel kind of a gravel to it when I talk, which I don't like. So I kind of want to make it a bit better, but you know, I don't hate how my voice sounds right now. I appreciate it. Oh, hey, I got third. But yeah, I really do appreciate you saying that. Thank you, thank you. Um, I've put some work into it. I need to put more work into it because I have a lot of plans, but haven't had the energy to put into it. Mostly my own design for character being one of them. Yeah. My character design, I have a concept for, but I don't have the skill to actually do it, which means I need to pay someone to do it, except I don't have the money to do it. So I'm kind of in that weird state of like, I have ideas that can't come to fruition until I do something. And music as well. Right now I'm just using the music of the game. But I have, I'm currently working on music for background stuff. The lore of my OC as well is being worked on all at once. So that is a lot of energy that is being put places that are kind of all coming to a standstill because I'm at the point now where like it's there, but I'm not good enough to do it myself per se. But I am working on stuff. No. This one is not. This one, if you look at the blocks underneath my stream in my info section and stuff like that, you'll see a link to the actual like original creator on Booth. I edited the colors of it and a few of the textures, but the actual design itself is not mine. It is close to my design, fairly close anyway, because I mean, why would I choose it otherwise? Hello Ray, welcome. But yeah, I do have a design that I am working on. My hope is that all of my stuff is going to be done by mid to late August, and there is a reason for that, which you will see mid to late August. If nothing else, having the background music and lore all set from that. Yeah, that would be nice as well. Just have like a icon of my character. Right now my icon I designed myself, which I do need to edit it because I have made some updates to my vibe, I guess. For lack of better terms. But yeah, there is quite a lot that I'm trying to work on. But yeah, welcome Ray again. Hope you are doing well today. Hope you can come in and vibe. Feel free to lurk and do whatever. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff that I have planned and need to edit and stuff like that. Mount Wario. Anyway, like this image here, that I have as my background, I did a couple of years ago at this point. Glad you're doing good, Ray. But generally, I am a lot better at environmental kind of looks compared to actual like characters. So trying to do a character design is not working out that well. But generally, like, stream background, I'm really happy with this background. I might make edits to it in the future, but I really like how it looks now. But yeah, the like I have been saying, graphics designer in between. Oh, that's very nice. Like I said, though, I don't really have the money for anything, which is why I haven't gone looking for people to commission. Because, like I said, I have student loans coming up, and I'm searching for a job for that. Well, I appreciate the offer, but I feel like graphic designers and artists and stuff like that should be paid for their work. So I'm not going to just take a design or anything like that. It's just one of those things that, like, there are a lot of people who will be like, oh yeah, give me a model for free and I'll put your name in the description and send people your way. And I'm just like, no, that's not how it works, because exposure does absolutely nothing. Like, obviously, like right now, you asked if I had designed the model, and I said no. And I had to point you to a link that, I'm gonna be completely honest, you probably didn't actually check. Just, that's how it works. And so, in reality, paid in exposure doesn't really do anything, from what I've seen and from what I've experienced. So, like, even if the artist is saying it's fine, I'll give it to you and just let people know, I feel like there needs to be something in payment. However, I will say, favors for friends is a different story. Because I do have a friend who has made me stuff in the past because they wanted to and wanted to do it as a friend. And I was willing to take that because, you know, friends are friends. But yeah, I do appreciate the offer, for the ideas and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if I hope we get this. If I were to get a design from someone, it would be by commission. Yeah, exactly. It takes a lot of effort and time and stuff like that to do it. And, unfortunately, kindness of the heart is not exactly a real thing. But yeah, I will say though, I have been thinking a bit about it, and like, obviously I have a design in my head that I kind of want to get down, but I don't have the skill for. So what I might do, exactly, that's exactly why I wanted this. It's one of those things that, like, I have been thinking about maybe saying, hey, would you mind lessening a price for a lesser product? Like, rather than having a full body art sketch, just have kind of like a full body art, line art, color, all that sort of stuff. Just kind of have a sketch of character for reference. but you know, that's a recent thought, and I need to work on other things first. And I just need to do this because I do this every time I get this course. You just got coconut mauled. Send this to all your friends to totally coconut maul them. Anyway. Nyum. This is one of my favorite music tracks in the entire Mario Kart series. Show that on Discord in case. Yeah, I probably won't for now because I mean this is our first time talking and I have grown very wary of adding people for various reasons that I'm not going to go into. But I do appreciate the offer. And if we chat more, maybe. Man. What do you mean by that? Yeah, I understand that. Hello, Phoenix. Welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, that's exactly it. I do have trust issues, and I'm aware of that. I've grown very wary of, like, even if I meet people, like, meet people, I don't like adding them on things until we've chatted, like, multiple different times and stuff like that. Ooh, 4-hour drive. That's rough, Phoenix. I'm glad you can come in and vibe. Today is just kind of Mario Kart and chatting. Where I play Mario Kart and just kind of chat, not worrying about my gameplay, because my gameplay is going to be bad anyway. Oh, low battery. I'm going to plug this in once this race is done. But yeah, no. I even Phoenix, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. I really need to think up a name for my community. But no. Even friends of friends I'm wary of adding because of, and I'm not going to go into detail because that's why I deleted the last VOD, is because I went into detail on this sort of thing, but I do have I, because of recent events in my life, I am very overprotective of the people I'm around. So I'm very wary of new people, even like friends of friends. I am very wary of. So, while I appreciate the offer to keep in touch through like Discord or something like that, I would prefer to wait on that. And I would appreciate if you're respectful. Yes, we did. That is how we met, right? Honestly, I've, and this is kind of getting into some things that I'm not gonna go too deep into because it deals with my past self that I am not happy with. But I've known Kumiho for a while, and then there was a falling out, and then got back in touch with them. So, I've known Kumiho for so long enough. Maybe after stream, Angelin. But I've known Kumiho long enough where I like completely trust them with stuff, and saying as you are a very trusted member of her community, I am more trusting of you than others. But you know, I'm still a bit wary. Yeah. That, without going into details of stuff, I frankly used to be a very trusting person until that trust got, you know, abused. And now I am very untrusting of people. It's almost a completely 180 sort of thing. Because it used to be like, if you were a friend of a friend, you were a friend of mine. That was my mindset back then. But now it's like, even if you are a friend of a friend, and like, say you are a partner of a friend, I still am very wary of you. Which is unfortunate, because that leads to making friends being really hard. But you know, it's something I live with, and something I deal with, and something that I can't escape from. But yeah. Sag. Yeah, no, it's one of those things. I have my fair share of issues. Which, it's one of those things. I find it important to talk about, but at the same time, like, I don't want this to be a spot where I just kind of vent all of my issues. Because the whole point of me streaming is to be a place for people to get away from their issues, not throw my own into the mix. So, but yeah, yeah, Angelin, I would appreciate if you didn't push it any further. Yeah, that's Stalker. We've known each other long enough where I trust you with stuff. But yeah. That conversation went a completely different direction than I was expecting, but you know, here we are. But yeah, Ray, we did meet through Kumiho a bit more recently. And by recently, I mean generally, want to say 3 months ago, probably, if I had to guess. Something like that. But yeah, Kumio is a sweetheart. And yeah, I hope I didn't ruin the vibe with any of that talk. It's just one of those things where, yeah. Let me try something. Oh? I don't have that enabled because I haven't set up bots, really. You have been following since May 4th. If you click on your username in chat, you can see followed since. So May 4th, which was 2.5 months ago. So yeah, about 3 months. Because I'm sure that we had talked to each other before you followed me. Yeah, I have one command set up, and that is !site. Site as in website. Because I am really happy with the website that I have created. So if you want to check that out, you can do that. It's also linked in the links underneath the stream as well. At least I think it is. But yeah. That's the only thing I have set up, and that's one of those things I do need to make changes with. Actually going ahead, getting bots set up, setting up channel points more than the ones that I already have. Just a lot of stuff like that, because viewer engagement has always been really important to me in Twitch and stuff like that. So having not set up a lot of stuff for viewer engagement is not exactly what I want to say is good streaming. Doing better than maybe. Though my the important things from me as a streamer are not going to be the same things as you for a stream, or for you as a streamer. So it's one of those things where, like, viewer engagement has the most important thing for me. Whereas something like, you know, overlays could be really important to you. And it's just one of those things that's like, it's the difference in person. And while I do have ideas for lore and stuff set up, yeah, I've been seriously pushing myself to do, not bi-weekly, twice a week streams. At least. Tuesdays and Thursdays, specifically. My original plan was doing 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, but Fridays have kind of fallen out because of various things. But it's the sort of thing where I probably spent a good hour before stream figuring out what I wanted to stream, because I felt like I don't necessarily want to do Mario Kart because I'm running out of stuff to do in Mario Kart. But I looked through all of my I looked through all of my games and stuff like that and didn't really see anything that felt stream worthy. So I just, you know, stuck with good old Mario Kart and chat. Because, as I said earlier, I don't really have the ability to do just chatting just yet. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I am working on setting up a Discord server. Oh, shit. Speaking of, I need to go ahead and do the introduction in Kumiho's server. But yeah, I'm working on setting up my own server and stuff like that to kind of have as a place to chat outside of stream and to just kind of have announcements and stuff like that. But I need to set up bots and all that good stuff in there first, come up with ideas for what to call a community, stuff like that. But that is in the works. That is 100% in the works. The unfortunate thing is, I'm not going to have a permanent link. Yeah. I'm not going to have a permanent link because now to have permanent links, you need to be Discord partnered, something like that. Which is annoying because that means like every week I'm going to need to change the link attached to my website and my streams and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's one of the things where I don't know how much use I'm gonna get out of it because, I mean, if you've seen me in any other server, you know I don't tend to talk in servers. I'm a lurker by nature. So having my own server where I just lurk is kind of... Oh, I will have to look into that then. Welcome, Harris. Hope you're doing well today. Speaking of which, I need to VIP a couple more people in chat. But yeah, it's one of those things where like I need to go ahead and get things cooking. But yeah, like I was saying, because I'm a lurker by nature, and just I just drove off the edge. Just oh, hello. I am confused. But no, because I'm still in bed. Well, get out of bed then, silly. But no, because I'm a lurker by nature, having my own server set up where people chat, I feel obligated that I have to interact, but because I'm a lurker by nature, I don't know how to interact, hence why I lurk everywhere. So that's kind of my issue with that, and why I'm very hesitant to have my own server. But, you know, every good streamer has a server. Too comfy? Well, it's 2:30. Right, I need to plug in my controller. It's 2:30, Harris. You should be out of bed by now. Don't feel like you have to be obligated? Yes and no. From the standpoint of... Hold on, let me quickly get my controller plugged in and stuff. Where's the cord? That's this cord. I have too many cords underneath my desk. It's our own server and doesn't talk that much. Yeah. That's one of those things where like... Well, I was up around 5 a.m. today. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? And why am I being hypocritical about it? I'm not much better. I woke up like 11. But yeah, bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk. But no, it's one of the things. If you run a community, I feel like interaction with the community is important. So having a server where you, well, fair. Oh, whoops, I missed. um, Watching movies is a bit different because um watching a movie is a bit different because you set up 2 hours ahead of time to just be uh so like you started the movie around 1, let's say. That's still I don't know. Depends on how things work out, but knowing Harris, Harris was probably just in VR chatting with a friend or something of the like until 5 a.m. Yeah, that's fair. Like, I know I watch videos until like 2, 3 in the morning, generally. Just kind of helps me sleep, weirdly enough. But when it comes to just chatting with people, you know, I feel like you can say I should go to bed, have a good night. When you're watching a movie, that's different because that's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stop the movie here for hours. But yeah, 3 a.m. is still much more reasonable than 5 a.m. Because at least at 3 a.m. you can still get like 5 hours of sleep and be fine. Yeah, that's also fair. But that's supporting a friend. Like, I've somewhat done that myself, where I've stayed up a bit to watch a friend stream. Usually I'll go to bed at a reasonable time, Harris. But it's one of those things where, like, if you stay up a bit to support a friend, that's different than just kind of staying up chatting. Harris. Let me quickly. There we go. I think that should work. Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of like giving her shit about staying up too late. Yeah. That's the other thing. If you have, like, work or schooling or something like that, staying up is a lot bigger of a no. Come on. Thank you. Yeah. Man, mistimed that. I was like hair too early. But yes, I do know how to dodge a blue shell with a mushroom. Man. I missed all of those. Yeah, 200cc is wild. Yeah. Oh, I did not realize just how far I went. Man. I was first all race just to be... Oh, nope, guess not. But yeah. There we go. Yeah. I was watching the map and I saw people coming up really close behind. I thought I was gonna be past the last second, but I wasn't. Anyway, well, given that it is now a little bit past 2:30, gonna do just a couple more races and then call it for the day. Cause I've been live for a little over an hour. I usually go about an hour and a half to about 2 hours, somewhere between there. So hydration, yes. And stretch. Thank you for the hydration. I missed. Oh well. And stretch. Thank you, thank you. I will say that was not one of my better stretches, but I was early? Yes, this is the course I started out on today. And by started out, while the starting soon screen was going, I played one race to kind of warm up. And this was what that race was. Man. I did so much better earlier, though. This is one of those things. I've been seeing a lot of videos about like different shortcuts in tracks and stuff like that, and just how to generally be quicker. I am not good at any of them, but I am slowly getting used to them. Because, you know, back when they had the qualifiers for the open tournament, I got my ass handed to me like every time. So I'm slowly getting more used to shortcuts and just generally being faster. which obviously right now you can tell is not helping much, but what? How did that last so long? This will probably last me until the end of the race. So, yeah, taking Mario Kart seriously is something. Honestly, I'm not a super competitive person by nature. Um, I don't really care for competitive games because it just breeds toxicity. Um, but I do enjoy competition. Um, but I don't like it when it's super serious and like everything is on the line sort of thing. Because 9 times out of 10, I play games for fun. Like, let's take. All right, this is gonna make me. Yeah, okay, I'll say it anyway. Fortnite, anyway. Um, I play that a lot for like doing challenges and just kind of overall generally having fun. Once it becomes competitive, it's all of a sudden a different game, and you're not meant to enjoy it. You're meant to win, and that's all there is to it. So, like, saying as I am not great at games, period. um, right, exactly. Um, like, and that's kind of been Nintendo's whole thing is like, what's the point of playing a game if you're not having fun? Um, which I know some people have arguments with and against and whatever based around how they handle copyright. Um, wow, that was great. Um, but it's one of the things where like um, Nintendo is very protective of their IPs. That's partially Japanese culture though. Where Nintendo is likely part of a larger conglomerate of companies. Um, and that's why they're so overprotective. I'm completely blanking on what they're called. But in Japan, there is a sort of thing where like, um, companies tend to be grouped together with other companies to, kind of have an overarching production, I guess. Um, so that's why they're a lot more overprotective, is because they kind of have to be, because it's not just them that gets affected by copyright conglomerates. That's not the correct term because there's an actual term for it in Japan. Um, I'm completely blanking on it though. But it is a completely different animal in Japan for copyright. Sega, on the other hand, I don't think is a part of one of those. So they are alone and they get to choose what happens to their copyright, which they're completely free flowing with it. They are perfectly happy to let people use their music in videos and all that sort of stuff. So it's one of those things where like, um, while I admit that Nintendo sometimes is a bit too strict with it, it is understandable to me on why. Um, and I mean, on top of it, Nintendo didn't start out as a gaming company. Nintendo initially was a trading card company. And then that became a toy company. And then it became, or no, it wasn't a toy company. It was an appliance company. Then it became a toy company. And then it became a video game company. So that kind of nature of copyright with ideas and stuff like that is overarching in that sense of like IPs are different Hanafuda. um. Oh, I don't remember what Hanafuda is. I recognize the name, but I don't remember. But no, it's just one of those things where like I like Sega the way they handle it because they're very free flowing with it. They're like, feel free to use whatever, we won't strike you as long as you're not claiming it as your own. And that's kind of my nature with copyright for stuff like music as well. Just like Card Game of Seasons. Ah, okay. But it's like with my music, which you can find on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Music, you know, shameless plug. All the links are on my website. Well, the big links anyway. But my nature with it is feel free to use it for whatever. Just don't claim it as your own. And that was a horrible start. So that's kind of one of those things where it's like, I obviously use my own music for my streams. But like, if I saw someone else using my music for their streams, I would be like, really cool. Because that means people are listening to it. But when it comes to other things, like, I missed the cut there. Just so long as you don't claim it as your own, I'm fine with people using it. And I will admit, while I'm not the most talented when it comes to making music, I do like to think I'm not bad. Yeah, my outro music is Until We Meet Again. It is the last song in my Forgotten by Time album, which is my chiptune 8-bit style album, inspired a bit by Legend of Zelda. But yeah, that is my outro music. And that will be my outro music. So okay, I'm gonna get into the story. Yeah. So one of the things that I've started to take to with my albums is each one of them tells a story in some way. Forgotten by Time is the most prominent because I have written in character themes that are overarching throughout the album. So essentially, the story of it, I think it's in the description of the full album video on my YouTube channel. Would have to double check. But essentially, there's a prophecy of people with powers who will come and destroy society. I missed. And that prophecy happened so long ago, and it was only spent through well, okay, the prophecy dictates that there is a person with special powers that will come and destroy society. There's another who will gain powers who will face them and be the protector of society. However, since the prophecy took so long to come to fruition and it was never written down, a lot of details were lost to time. Well, forgotten by time. And the only real details that came up were actually, let me pull up the album real quick just to see if I had written the story in. I did not. Okay. So, essentially, just gonna try and run through it quickly. Um, there is a young girl who woke up one day to find that she had secret powers. And immediately she was terrified because all her life she had heard of this prophecy of someone with powers coming and destroying society. And so she was trying to hide it as best as possible. Until one day it kind of became clear that she had powers. And once the townspeople saw that, they went on a hunt to try and nip her in the bud, per se, before she could do anything. Her closest friend trusted that the prophecy couldn't have been about her, because after all her life, she had known this girl to be the sweetest person you could ever meet. But the townsfolk didn't see it that way. After being hidden away by her friend, this young girl with powers, went to find that her friend, the only person who trusted her, was being burned at the stake for hiding her. She sees this and she runs. After all, why would she stay? They killed her closest and only person, her closest friend and only person she could trust. So she sets off to try and figure out what's happening. Where she meets a young man, just like her, who has powers. However, this young man is not alive. He's a spirit who hated what he had become, hated how society treated him. He was setting out to rule the world, to make it where people with powers were seen as I'm ad-libbing a lot of this here, by the way. That's why I'm taking so many breaks between words. He had been seen as a threat by society, and much like this young girl's friend burned at the stake, he wanted to make a society where people with powers ruled, where power was dictated by power, not by the law of the land. And so this young girl faced a decision: join this vengeful spirit or fight against him. If she fought against him, unknowingly to her, she would complete the prophecy. If she joined him, it would end with the destruction of society. So after a bit of, discussion, this young girl comes to find out that this young man that faced her was there when the prophecy was first told. He knew it inside and out. He told her the prophecy, and she knew that she was this ancient hero that was meant to save society, even if society didn't see her that way. So she faced him head on. She used her powers for good, his for evil. And eventually, she wins out victorious, using the memory of her friend as her motivation. And then, after the battle is fought and won, she looks up to the sky and promises that she will one day meet her friend again in some way, shape, or form. However, her work on in the mortal realm was not over. So she knew that she still had some time before they could meet. But she knew that they would meet again at some point in another life. That's the story. Mostly ad-libbed, because I don't remember details off the top of my head, like names or anything like that. I do have a document stating the lore, but I didn't feel like bringing that up right now. But that is the story of that album. And you kind of hear throughout the album, there's the Friends theme, there's the Heroes theme, and there's the Vengeful Spirits theme that kind of get played throughout multiple different points. If I remember correctly, I haven't actually thought about listening through the whole album in a while. But the ending theme goes into both the Friends theme and the Heroes theme. I mean, obviously. But it's kind of this somber sort of feeling of both loss and hope. Well, at least that was the plan. I mean, not even really the plan. The story actually came after. So that's kind of where that music sits. If you can't tell, I love storytelling in music. But essentially, Until We Meet Again was the second song that I ever made. The first song being on the album Lifeline, and being, I want to say, The Chase. So essentially, I had gotten a program that let me make music. Lifeline was experimental. I am not great at improv. That is why I don't DM Dungeons and Dragons. I play Dungeons and Dragons. And when it comes to character story arcs, I am a lot more into story than actual combat. But I am not great at improving story when it comes to the idea of, like, so obviously in Dungeons and Dragons, your players can make a lot of decisions and can derail entire sessions. That has happened to me before. But DMs tend to have a way to take these derails and put them back on track in some way. Completely improv, because, I mean, how else could they react to players doing things of their own volition? And that's where I would not be great as a dungeon master. Although, I will say, playing D&D is a recent thing for me. Probably about 2 months ago now, I started playing my first campaign with friends. Well, my first campaign in years with friends. So we've been playing 5e weekly, Wednesday nights. This course again? Okay. But we've been playing weekly on Wednesdays and stuff like that. I have a fantastic DM. But it's been my first time playing 5e. I used to, back when I was a lot younger, and I say a lot younger, I'm only 19, but like when I was like single digit age, I want to say, my dad had the first edition of Dungeons & Dragons, and I would play that with my sister. And then, like, probably 10 years have gone by before I even touched Dungeons and Dragons again, with 5e, which it feels completely different. So I'm getting into actually playing D&D, let alone the idea of DMing it. But I do get the whole, I do like telling stories, and I do like world building and stuff like that. Hence why I actually am writing a full-length short story about the lore of my OC. And working on an album for it, but that's beside the point. But when I was making music, Lifeline, I worked on Lifeline and Forgotten by Time in tandem, so at the same time. Lifeline was experimental. I was just kind of messing with the program. And I would take what I would learn in my Lifeline songs and apply them to Forgotten by Time. Except Forgotten by Time was entirely made out of chiptune sound bites, making it have that 8-bit sound. So, Until We Meet Again was the second song I ever created. The first one in Forgotten by Time. And I took themes out of that to make, well, I took the Heroes theme out of Until We Meet Again, to make the Ancient Hero, which is, well, the Heroes theme. And then I made Battle of Legends, which added in the Vengeful Spirits theme, which then I made its own track. So there was a lot of that sort of thing getting put into play, and then eventually it got to the point where I wanted to fill out the album a bit more, and I'm like, okay, I need something here. I need a theme for the friend. So I took the battle call from Battle of Legends, and made that the friend's theme. So the story wasn't thought out ahead of time. It was one of those things, I was messing around with things and I created a story. But yeah, I do enjoy storytelling. I do enjoy making music. It's mostly been at a standstill, because frankly, I've been hitting a creative block when it comes to stuff. Generally, though, I have the general story of my OC laid out. I have a song from the album that will relate to it. And like I said earlier, I have a character design in mind. But, yeah. Anyway, this is going to be my last race before I call it. Because I am starting to get very hot. To the point where I can feel the sweat dripping down off my face and arms. So, you kidding me? But yes, I am going to be calling it after this race because I frankly cannot go much longer in this heat. But I am really happy that I was able to talk about kind of storytelling and my music and stuff like that. Who knows? Next stream I might just do an analysis of all my music. That could be fun. Go through kind of the thought process, or like kind of talk about the stories relating to each of the songs. That could be fun. Thank you. A lot of my storytelling, though, comes from personal experience or personal fantasies. So, like, when it comes to, uh Lifeline, that kind of tells a story relating to my personal life. Forgotten by Time was kind of told as a fantasy story um that has aspects of actual events from my life, but generally goes about by having fantastical elements, telling a story of like some character and like an inner journey that I've had as like a fantastical story. Broken Halves, I just came up with a cool concept that I wanted to play with, and kind of built a story surrounding it. So that one is not a very deep story. Um, I missed. No, I didn't. Um, so it's one of those things where like, um, that's doing an analysis of my music is going to play a lot into telling a lot of personal stories, and that's fine. But I do think that might actually be my plan for next stream on Thursday. And I will give you a sneak peek preview at well, the song that I have already made, because that'll be fun. And gives people a reason to show up. But I am going to call it there because oh yeah, I downloaded a bunch of the stuff earlier today. But I will say thank you so much for coming. Have a wonderful time zone. Just to check. Yeah, okay. Have a wonderful time zone. Make sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. GameCube would be like my personal pick. Anyway, have a wonderful time zone. Make sure you take care of yourself. Drink some water. Get some rest. All that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Bye.